Good evening and welcome to another, as a matter of fact, the last class in a series of 8 guitar classes that I have been conducting. Just to encourage you to explore your musical artistic side, and in this time of COVID-19, most of us are at home, whether working or just following the stay home protocol. Some of us are engaged otherwise, but I thought I'd introduce the joys of music making on the guitar, or singing if that's your thing. And so this is the 8th lesson. It's the second of a 2-part lesson. The last one I did was to introduce Michael Jackson's Human Nature. Today I'm going to show us how to tackle the chorus to that song. I think there is one new chord I'll introduce. Other than that, it's the same chords that we did last week. So if you were on, or if you watched the last class, you need to be able to go through the chords. And again, not fast. It's not a race. Take your time. Make sure you're following my examples with regards to fingering the chords, placing your fingers at the right place. And as the days turn into weeks, turn into months, you will see improvement. Don't force it. Don't rush it. Don't force it. It will happen naturally. You know that song? So today I want us to just look at the chorus of this Michael Jackson song, and I'll put in a few things that I think might help you in understanding how to get the feel, the rhythm of this masterpiece of MJ's. If you notice, I started with tuning, which is a sore point for most beginning guitars. Not a lot of things sound worse than a badly tuned guitar. Nowadays, it's not a problem as such, because we have available guitar tuners that are very, very accurate. Gone are the days when guitarists have to sit for minutes and sort of override the outside noises and get his or her instrument tuned. Nowadays, you pick up Google or wherever your favorite music, whatever your favorite music store is, go there, ask for a guitar tuner, and they're easily, it's not a big thing. You turn it on. In this case, you clip it onto the head of your guitar, and you pluck the string. So right now I pluck the first string, and it's showing me the name of the string, E. The first string is E, second string is B, G, D, A, E. So as you pluck the string, there is a light. It lights up and it centers on the name of the string. If it centers, then you know you're in tune. If it turns red, that means your string is sharp, meaning it's turned up too much. If it's on the left side of that, it means, if it's on the left side of the center mark, it means you need to turn up the string some more. The string is flat. So it's very straightforward. The instruction manual will walk you through how to use a tuner, and so you can, right from the get-go, play reasonably well tuned. It takes some developing your ear to, is that the right, even when the machine says yes, you might want to fine tune until you're right at that sweet spot with regards to tuning. So that's what I started the session doing. I went from the 1st to the 6th string, and I'm watching to see if I'm getting dead center on the tuner. If it's to the right of the center line, it turns red, meaning you're too sharp, it's too high. You need to go down, which means turn down the guitar, the string. The manual, like I said, will guide you as to how to best use your tuner, whatever it is. And nowadays, they're all pretty good. So it's not necessarily based on what the tuner costs. Of course, you wouldn't buy one for, if you see a tuner at whatever store for $1.75, I wouldn't go for that one. So from about $9 up, I'd say you can get a reasonably good guitar tuner. Okay, now to Michael Jackson. The song is written in the key of, well, I played in the key of C, or I go from a C to a D, back to C and back to D. Scented wings, a sleepless night. Hear her voice, shakes my window. Sweet seducing sighs. That's where we ended the first part. The chorus goes, if they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why do it that way? Okay, I'll do that better the second time around. Okay, but I'll walk us through the chords for the chorus, and again I'm going to go snail pace so that you can see the chords, where you change, and how you master shifting from one chord to the next. So let's look at, I'm jumping right into the chorus of the song, because last week we did the first part. And so once I go through, I'll walk us through this, then there are a few things I want to end the series on. So we'll do this, and then I'll just give you a few reminders with regards to continuing the study of the instrument, how to play, how to sing and play, because it's not necessarily the same thing, it's not the same package. There are people who are good players, there are people who are good singers, there are people who are good players and singers. That means you sing and you accompany yourself. That's a different skill set, okay? So if your thing is to start a band and you just want to be the guitarist, fine. If you want to be a solo performer where you play and sing, then there are things you need to work on more than if you were just to focus solely on being the guitarist in the band, okay? All right, so the second part, the chorus of the song begins on the D. If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does she do it that way? So it starts with a, if they say C, why, back to D, why, then to a G. Tell them that it's human nature. Why does she do it that way? So here we go with the chords. If they say why, that's a C chord. Remember, I've been going over the C chord from day one. We went from the small C, now we're at the big C. Pointer in the second string, first fret, middle finger in the fourth string, second fret, ring finger stretches over easily to the fifth string on the third fret, and you strum from the fifth string, C chord. Why, and then you go to D, why? D chord, pointer in the third string, second fret, middle finger goes to the first string, same second fret, ring finger presses the second string in the third fret. The root of the chord is D, the fourth string is D. You strum from the D down, fourth string down. Then back to G. Tell them that it's human, it's E minor, that's a new chord, I'll come back to that. And then you go back to D, nature, and then it's why. Then the B minor chord, why does she do it that way? That's A minor 7. So let's backtrack the new chord, E minor, if you were to look at the sheet music. I'm using middle finger on the fifth string, second fret, ring finger squeezes right under it under the fourth string. And this is a big chord, you strum all sixth string from the sixth all the way across. That's E minor. There. Human nature. it's G. Tell them that it's human nature. So right at nature you go to the D. Human nature, then C, why? Then B minor. Why does she do me that way? Do me that way. Right at the do is the A minor 7. Pointer presses the second string in the first fret. Middle finger presses the fourth string in the second fret. You strum from the fifth string, which is the root of the chord A minor 7, all the way across. Does she do it that way? And you pause and they repeat. Why? But remember, if you can do it once, it's just a matter of repeating the exact same thing. So if they say why, just those two chords. Why, and remember that little humph in there to get that Michael Jackson feel and rhythm. So it's why, so it's why, so so there, C, D, G, E minor, D, C. So you want to go from the if they say, so treat if they say as an upbeat. So line up on the C chord. If they say why, then G. Tell them that it's human, that's E minor. Human nature, that's D. And then back to C. Why? Then B minor. Why does she do me that way? They say why? So remember, don't start your practice with going for the tempo you hear me play the last just now. Take it at snail pace. If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does she do it that way? If they say C, D, and then G, then E minor, D, C, B minor, A minor 7. So you could actually, that's a technique I used to use. You literally sing the chords. So if they say C, D, and then G, that it's E, D, C, B minor 7, B minor to A minor 7. So that's, you know, an extreme approach to getting the chords, sing the chords. The words are there, but do everything you can to help the learning process along. So back to the real deal is to get that C chord, why, then D. The trick here is, what is there's a silence here between the C and the D, and that silence holds the secret to that little hump in the rhythm and the feel, which I mentioned last week. So it's why, yeah, right between this and this. There's that's that little thing Michael Jackson does. Those of us who are Michael Jackson's fan, and it works in other places too. But this is what we're working on. So this, so there. So if on my guitar I did this, I do down. So it's this, and then that. So it's this. So it's down. It's like down. But I do it with the chord. So this, and that's a feel and the little thing that I'm saying. It's a feel and the rhythm. So if you can fill up that space between why. As a matter of fact, if you look on the sheet music, there are two rests between, it's in 4/4. And again, it's syncopated, so it's not that very square. You can say, oh, okay, just 1, 2, 3, 4. It wouldn't work with Michael Jackson's thing, right? So you want to get the one, so it's this. Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? And again, don't focus so much on the lyrics, the words. A lot of students gets this mixed up. Actually, when you're learning the guitar, one of the difficulties is that you're doing more than one thing. You're trying to get your finger on the right strings to get the chords right. You're trying to figure out where you are in the song. You're trying to figure out where do you start to move to the next chord. Right? So there are a few things going on in your head as you look at the music or follow the video. And by the way, to go back to these videos, all 8 of them, go to my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube, and you can go back and bring friends along and try to get under the skin of these songs. But again, the idea is to know what you're working on at any given moment. Don't stress over what word is there, what do I sing here. Do the chords first. If you can get the chords in, the song will sing itself. So there. So focus on chords, then once the chords start to flow, and remember, I'm edging towards the fast side of things. So the whole idea is to slow it down until you feel comfortable going from C to D, then G, E minor, D, C, B minor, A minor 7. Whatever works well for you, that's the approach you should take. Get the chords in, and even if you want to go back to the small C chord and then the D, and for the G, play the small G. They're all there. If you go back and look, go on my page, you see the whole thing from the very first lesson right until this one. The trick is don't force it. It will happen naturally. It takes persistence and constant practice. Do a little, a lot. So if every day you do 15 minutes, it's better than waiting until Friday evening you do 2.5 hours. Just get a little in every day, and then it will start to feel natural. And again, in the case of this song, what you want to aim for is to get that little rhythm in there. This, and then this. And feel, don't hold yourself back. If you find yourself rocking, don't hold yourself back. That will help the learning process along. But the main thing is, what chord am I playing here? Where do I go next? Always look 2 chords ahead. And after this chord, what's the next one? And what's the other 2? So you're not static. Music moves. So you're not spending any time at any one spot. Unless you're right at the learning stage where you're saying, I have to get this C chord there. Then I know it's a D. Then I know it's a G. Then it's an E minor. Then D, C, B minor, and the phrase ends at that way. So take your time, sing along, or have somebody sing for you. Don't try to master the lyrics, the rhythm, and the chords at the same time. That's too much. Do one thing at a time. Get the chords down, then you go to the lyrics. Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does she do me that way? And feel it. Bring out the artistic part of yourself. Be expressive. That will help as well. Don't stomp over everything. Listen to the recording and see how the singer shapes it. Tell them that it's human nature. Why does she do me that way? Why does she do me that way? That's nothing to be loud and cheerful about. It's a question, right? Why? Well, tell them it's human nature. Repeat, why? Then why does she do me that way? So be expressive when you play. Not only this song, but in all your songs, bring out the message in the music. If it's a question, it should be, very tentative. Do me that way. And the composers or the writers of the song usually put the chords that brings out the point they're trying to make. If it's a question or they're declaring something, it's usually, the clue is always found somewhere in the chord arrangement, the progression of the chords, and so on. So as I round out this week, I just want to encourage you to continue to practice. Go back, look on the past lessons, and take it step by step by step. Before you know it, you'll be playing just like I am. I went through all the frustrations of not getting the chords where I wanted, or it doesn't sound right. And remember what I said about not sounding right. It's usually because the music in our head is ahead of what our hands can do at any given moment, especially in the early stages of learning. You have to be patient with yourself. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. And if you record, it's a good idea to record as you play. And don't be, too headsy. Laugh if you hear something that you said, wow, did I play that? Yes, you did. So how do I fix it? That's what learning the guitar is all about. So you go for the C chord, oops, I'm one whole fret higher than I should be. No, I'm not going to stress over that. I just go to the right fret. I mean, how bad can that be? I think it's Miles Davis who asked, how far can you be from the right note on the guitar or on whatever instrument you're playing? It's just that when we dwell on that mistake, oh, how could I? No. You play the wrong fret, oops, you just go to the right one. Take that approach as you learn the guitar, as you learn a song. And if you're singing a song, I promise that I give little tips on singing. If you're singing a song and you black out with regard to the words, just make up some words. Okay, you want to keep it moving. So it's better to keep the rhythm going with improvised words or humming or whatever fills in, instead of stopping there and trying to recall the right word or the right phrase. Just move it along. Again, nobody's holding a whip or a gun over you. You're free, you stop, you repeat, you go it over. So what if John Brown or Ray don't like the way that sounds? Just wait until next month when you have that little rhythm down. Okay? So remember, those are the tips I want to pass along. Look at the past lessons, take it one step at a time. You're not in any rush, hopefully. Master one thing before you move to the next. That doesn't mean you're going to stay 6 months on one song. It means that if you dedicate 15 minutes of practicing, you should ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish at the end of 15 minutes? It could be just to get this little thing in there. There. Down, 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 and up. Why, and things like that. You just work on one thing. When you get it, you move on. You could stop, have a cup of tea or coffee, whatever your thing is, and then you pick it up back again and do another thing. So you want your practice to be goal directed. What am I working on in these 15 minutes? And if you have time, it doesn't mean that you're going to drop everything and it's all guitar. If you have 15 minutes in the morning, fine. 15 minutes at lunchtime, 15 minutes before you go to sleep. That's 45 minutes that day. And if you repeat that 3 times a week, you're well on your way to putting in enough practice time to achieve your goal of learning to play the guitar. It's all on this box, and I'm telling you, all you need is patience and a love for making beautiful music. Next Valentine's Day, you could be playing your favorite love song to your favorite person. At a family member's birthday next year or next month, you could be playing a song at the barbecue or at the birthday party. Or at church, you could lead a chorus. It all begins with dedicating some time to practicing. And very importantly, style has nothing to do with how well you progress on the guitar. In other words, I the 8 lessons weren't directed at any, okay, this is my style I'm going to teach. You can go from reggae, calypso, R&B, jazz, to Michael Jackson, pop. Once you can play the guitar, then it's a matter of applying the chords in a way that will bring out that style. So if you're playing the blues, you know, it's a different feel. But no matter what the style is you're aiming to play, it all depends on whether or not you can go from chord this to the next chord to the next chord comfortably. So technique is important because that's the vehicle that will help you put the music across effectively. You don't want to be fumbling, and bear in mind, don't ever say you don't want to make a mistake. I mean, you're in God, I don't think. So don't be too hard on yourself. We all make mistakes, so what? Don't ever okay, I don't want to make any mistake. That in itself is a mistake, right? No matter how well you plan, things can happen, and all you have to do is move on. That's why we're still alive, right? So don't be too hard on yourself. Know what you're about when you sit to practice, and share the music with somebody, a family member, your neighbor, the postman if he's friendly, you know, and so on. But don't hold it in, share the music, and that way it will help you to lose the fear of performing. Because believe me, to be in your room locked up and practicing for hours and hours, a month or a week, it's a different thing from 3 persons sitting down and looking at you like this, right? So it's a different thing. So master your heart, feel comfortable with it, share it. And don't promise that you're going to give a perfect, squeaky clean rendition of a song or a piece of music. Just say, I want to share this. And in that spirit, the audience will say, all right, cut you some slack if you play the wrong fret. So that approach will do a lot in helping you to learn the guitar, to learn to sing your favorite song. And so I want to thank you for sticking it out with me. Remember, if this is something that you're into, you can leave me a message on my page. Tell me what you're playing, what your plans are, and if you'd be interested in continuing with more lessons, okay? It's all there on my page. You can share your thoughts or ask questions or sign up for lessons. Let me know what your plans are. Just let me know what you're doing with the guitar. But whatever you do, to quote the great guitarist Scott Tennant, don't throw in the towel. Until I see you, until next time, remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel, encourage friends and neighbors to do the same thing, and I'll see you back here soon. Thank you.